Welcome to EDI635, Development and Needs of Students. My name is Sally Hipp, and I will be your professor for the next 6 weeks in this class. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself, and then I'd like to tell you a little bit about this class. I have been a teacher, both in elementary and secondary. I've been an elementary school counselor for over 10 years, and I've been a principal in a K-8 building. For the last 12 years, I have been here at Grand Valley State University teaching classes and also program coordinator for the GTC program. My master's degrees are in counseling and in leadership, and my doctorate is in teaching, learning, and leadership. My research interests are urban education, since my practical experiences with Grand Rapids Public Schools, and also in teacher leadership. I'd like to tell you a little bit about this class because it's got kind of an unusual setup. You are, for the first 3 weeks of the class, you will all be studying the same material. The class is divided into learning units, and the first 3 learning units, you will all be working with the same material. During those first 3 weeks, you're going to review the scientific research model. You're going to review the grand theories of child growth and development. And you're going to become acquainted with some vocabulary that you'll be using in your final project. On week 4, you will be starting your final project. Those of you who work with primarily elementary students are going to follow the learning units specifically designed for you. Those of you who work primarily with secondary and junior high will follow the learning units specifically designed for that age group. You will be working with a child, and you will need to identify this child before week 4. This child can be a neighbor. I don't want it to be a relative, however. You'll be working with the child, and you'll be talking with the parents of this child. It can be a child from your school. So as you watch this video and get acquainted with this course site, be thinking of a child in the age group that you will be working, that you can work with for the project. For the project, you're going to be interviewing the student, you're going to be interviewing the parents, you're going to be doing some predictions of how well you believe this child will be able to work in schools, in their school. And the project will be handed in 3 different parts. APA is very important to me, and I want to make sure that you understand what is required for APA. You will need a separate title page, a separate reference page, and your references need to be correctly cited in the body of the paper as well as on the reference page. The cool thing about this course is that none of it is time sensitive. In other words, there are no discussion boards where you have to start at a certain date and end at a certain date. So, theoretically, you could work ahead in this class. You could, maybe if you had a weekend where you weren't particularly busy, you could say, I'm going to take this weekend and do most of the work for the class. This is an advantage, I think, particularly in the summer, and particularly with a 6-week class. Now, that being said, if you get behind in your work, you need to email me, send me an email, and let me know that your work will be coming in after the posted due date. So you can turn in your work ahead of time, and if it comes in after the posted due date, just send me an email before the assignment is due and let me know. The best way to communicate with me is through email. I check it every day, sometimes more than once. Also, I will be having office hours, and those will be posted on your Blackboard site. If you live near Grand Haven, where I live, I can meet with you any day. I often meet with my students at the coffee shop there, and all you have to do is send me an email, and we can meet together. One of the reasons that students often meet with me is because they haven't had fully online classes before, and they like meeting with their professor and getting to know them a little bit, and also they bring questions about their final project. Either of those reasons are fine. I hope you enjoy this class. You're going to be learning about the grand theories of child development. You're going to have an opportunity to practice what you learn, and I guarantee you that the material you interact with and learn over this 6 weeks will be material you'll see over and over again in your school. I look forward to working with you this semester.